And so I knew NFTs on Ethereum had no chance. And we were using Ethereum at one point, as you mentioned, and then we went to EOS when it became available, EOS.io. And we even still, while it's very fast to trade and whatnot, we had to build a wallet. We call it the Wax Cloud Wallet. And I'm very proud of that wallet for this reason. A big percentage of the people who participated in the Garbage Pail Kids NFT sale were people who couldn't spell blockchain, who had never actually owned a crypto, right? And they were able to go to this wallet, put in their, their credentials, and we allowed you to use your Google credentials or your Facebook credentials
you
to log in.
sign up with your social identity. There's no social,
And then it was very intuitive. Hey, here's how I pay for this. Oh, here it is sitting in my wallet. If I want to trade it, this is what I want to do. And it took a lot of effort to do that on a blockchain, but it's paid off. And the secondary market took off within hours. As of a couple of days ago, I want to say there was, I think there was dozens of trading cards that were trading at over $1,000 US.
Were there any attempts at scams? I think in Telegram, were there some sharp, smart characters trying to do some scams on it? I mean, it comes to the territory.
It is a typical thing.
Yeah.
Nothing that bubbled up to me where people were trying to defraud somebody or whatever, which is always a risk. But no, here's something else, by the way, that was really, really good to learn. I was going into these forums of people who trade traditional paper Garbage Pail Kids cards, and very quickly people were saying, they were describing to other people what the virtues of Garbage Pail Kids on a blockchain were, which I liked. I mean, we had tried to educate, but you never know because it's kind of technical concept. But they got it. They said, hey, by the way, guys, this is not like a traditional like digital item, like an emoji that you just send back and forth. Who knows if it's, quote, real or fake. These things can never be duplicated. They're guaranteed authentic if they're on that blockchain. And they can never be taken away from you because they're on a decentralized blockchain. So you will own them forever. Those messages were evident to people very quickly. And I believe that's why the secondary market has done so well. And then we did something else with the secondary market, which is what was so appealing to brands. There's always been this jealousy of people who sell products in the primary market that they don't make a percent when it's traded on eBay, right?
Yeah.
And you might be Nike, and you're like, you have all these sneakers that you sell through, Foot Locker and through retail chains, and then they get sold at higher prices. You don't get that. I've always thought that sort of concern was misplaced because it's like, just because you sell an automobile and your General Motors or Ford or Tesla doesn't mean you need to make a piece of the secondary sale, right? There's a whole new ecosystem that's doing that. But be it what it may, some people in the digital world are like, we don't like digital because we don't get a piece of the secondary market. And here what we did was using the blockchain and smart contract mechanics and whatnot, we were able to give author rights, which, the people who created the imagery, the authors of these images, the creatives, they're getting a piece of every secondary sale.
Like royalties going down.
It's like a royalty.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we've I would say we've got a crude mechanism right now for how we collect those, but we're getting better and better, and there doesn't seem to be any issue with people paying it. At options, people always pay, 10%, 5 to 10% to transfer an item, and to do it in a safe way with the digital escrow so you don't get scammed. And that's like the rates here, and people seem fine with that. So this is a point we're going to be pushing with a lot of other people who have collectible IP, is go on the Wax blockchain. We'll help you do these sales. You can do the initial sale, get all that margin, and then get a piece on the back end of the trading, and have no concern whatsoever about counterfeit, right? It is remarkable. there's no way to counterfeit something on a blockchain.
And I love the fact, as a writer, for example, the royalties go on, even like they're being, rented out from the library, whatever. It's so cool.
Yeah. And remember what I used to do at Disney? I was the finance head of the Disney licensing group, which was the largest licensor in the world. Disney likes getting licensing royalties, and especially from properties that, frankly, they're not getting much out of anymore. And so what we're now telling brands is, look, you remember when CD-ROMs came about, and then VHS cassettes, and then DVDs, and then streaming. Every time that new technology emerged, you could go into your library of content and repurpose it once again in the new format and collect royalties. So we are going to be explaining to them, we think we've cracked the code of how to offer up and sell first run NFTs, and then how to create a really thriving secondary market as well. I think this is
quite unique, isn't it? Yeah, that's very interesting. Wow. Okay, I didn't realize that piece. Okay, I've got 4 quick.
Have you seen them, by the way? I don't know.
Oh, I've seen pictures of them.
Yeah, let me, if you don't mind, I'd like to share.
Absolutely.
Share some. This will be quick.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yes.
You see that? So, you got the, and this is just a deck we've been showing people, but these are some of what the cards look like. If I can see if I can advance this. There we go. So you can see here that garbage pail kid there is a Nasty Nick, if you can see him.
Yeah.
And as we said, 110,000 cards sold in a little over 24 hours. Some of these cards are now going for 10 times what they were going for in the primary market, which is amazing. Here's a whole bunch of others, and they were all like, there were different chances of getting them, right? So your base cards, that's 50% of the cards are going to be in that category. Whereas your collector edition ones, it's 0.2% chance of getting those. And my favorite are the sketch cards. They're sketches of the original drawings. They're very pretty. And of course, why did the secondary market work? It worked because we had this great app where you could easily get the NFT and trade it to somebody else. Without that, without the Wax Cloud wallet, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
You'd be in the analog world.
It's back to the convenience thing you were saying. Convenience is so important. Wow.
So you got your little look at what they look like. They're very, very cool looking, and we will be doing
more of those.
Topps is very interested. The company that owned the rights for those is very interested in more, and they're like, hey, please start coming out, help us come out with more of these. I really feel like, having been involved in this space from the beginning, that this is the first time I've seen the entire market work.